everyone, and welcome to episode 68 of the Best Day Ever Crafting Podcast. This is a podcast about my making journey and celebrating with you why every day spent crafting makes for the best day ever. My name is Trish, and I can be found on Instagram and Ravelry as Tie-Dye Diva. You can also find me at thefibertree.com, which is my sticker and stationery shop. So if you are a planner or you like to journal, hopefully you'll get a chance to visit this shop and find something you love. I will leave links to the show notes as well as to my shop in the description box below. So welcome back. If you are a returning viewer, and an extra special welcome if this is your first time here. So this is just a space where I regularly share what I've been up to in my crafting world. As you can see from my background, I am a multi-crafter. I paper craft, I weave, sew, knit, crochet, and I love it all. My only challenge is finding enough time to fit it all in, but we do the best we can, right? So yeah, just welcome. It's been a while. I have been quite under the weather for the past few weeks, not COVID related, thankfully, but I was having some mobility issues, actually, something going on with my back and hip. So I'm still, getting tests done to see what that was all about. I just have a feeling it was a new area of a pinched nerve somewhere along my spine. So I'll be getting some imaging done next week and we'll just take it from there. But my pain level is much better, almost non-existent here lately. So let's hope that continues. And so that explains why I haven't been here in a while. So we've got a little bit of catching up to do. We've got quite a bit of catching up to do. We'll start out with some admin so we can close out our make-alongs from last year. Got some prizes to give away, and then we'll get into the making. I've got some finished objects. I have a lot of finished objects. A couple of new works in progress, and acquisitions as always. So let's get started. So our final make-along for the last quarter of 2021 was Finish Your Whip. So we were working really hard finishing our whips. Let me share with you what the prizes are, and then I'm going to announce the 3 names that were drawn by random number generator. And I'm going to do this exactly the way I did the last prize drawing. I'm going to show the prizes, I'm going to draw the names, and it's basically on a first come, first served basis. So our prize winners are number 1, Vicky, who is V Shaw 7. Vicky, you knit the Gulf Stream pullover in Harrisville Daylights yarn that was absolutely gorgeous. So you're our first winner. Congratulations. Second name that was chosen was Sylvia, who is Sylvia 1002. She finished her Socksploration socks, and she used Lamb Woman Knits as well as Two Sisters Yarn Co. A beautiful pair of socks that had a contrasting heel, toe, and cuff. Our final winner is Felicia, who is DJ Fleece on Ravelry. Felicia knit a beautiful log cabin blanket. So this was a whip that she had had going on for quite some time, and she just buckled down and committed to finishing it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So congratulations to all you winners. Let's look at the prizes. So our first prize, these 2 beautiful skeins of yarn. I picked these from my giveaway pile because I thought that they would coordinate really, really well together. So this one here is from Tempted Hand Painted Yarns and Fibers, and this is her Little Luxe Girl base. It is superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, 375 yards, and it is a fingering weight. This here is Audubon Sport. It is 385 yards, and it's 100% superwash merino. And this is from the Fiberist. So I think you could work with the two of these in maybe a shawl or some other project, or you could work with them separately, even though one is a fingering weight and one is a sport weight. That could be perfectly acceptable depending on which project you choose. So that's one prize. The second prize is a shawl kit. The shawl kit includes the pattern for the veranda shawl, which you see right there, and all the yarn you need to make it. And the base is Host Garn yarn, which is, it's 100%, no, it's 55% lamb's wool and 45% cotton. So there are your colors. So if these are your colors, you may choose this prize. And another prize is this huge stack. You know, I've never even counted these, but it's a huge stack of batik, 100% cotton batik remnants. They're all the same size. It's definitely larger than a fat quarter. I believe maybe about 1 inch wider than a traditional fat quarter, but it's a ton of them here. It's at least, it's over, you know what, let me just count them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think it's 18. I may have missed a couple, so it could be 20, but it's at least 18 beautiful pieces of batik fabric in all different colors, blues and purples and grays. You could do so many things with these. You can do some patchwork, quilting, or make a pillow, make several pillows, or even a garment, a patchwork, like maybe shirt number 1 for 100 Acts of Sewing would be so cool with these. So, and I believe this was given to me by Arthella. So thank you so much for this prize donation. So this is going into the prize stack. So if you are a sewer, you may want to choose that. And that's another reason why I don't want to assign prizes to specific people, because I want people to choose what they're most likely to use. And I've got another prize, even though we only drew for 3 names, just to give some more variety. These 2 skeins are another option, and I thought that they worked really, really well together. This is from my stash, so I have to remember to go in Ravelry and take these out if someone chooses them. But this color here is from Martin's Lab, and this is a BFL sock, 100% BFL, and it's 437 yards, and the color is Caterpillar. It's so pretty. And the coordinating color I thought would work well with this is from Sew Perfect Pearls, and this color is called Under the Sea. It is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend, and the yardage isn't on here, but I would guess that it's at least 400 yards. So 4 prizes for 3 winners. Let me know what your preference is. Along with whichever prize you choose, I will also be including a sticker sheet from my shop, which is the Knit Love sticker sheet. So I'll make sure each one of you get that. Unless you know for sure you're not going to use it, then just let me know and I won't include it. So thank you so much for participating in the 2021 Knit Alongs. We had a lot of fun. It's been great. I haven't decided. Okay, so I haven't decided about make-alongs for 2022. I do have a couple of ideas though. Oh, let me backtrack to prizes real quick. Each prize winner will also be receiving a canvas tote bag. Two are from 29 Bridges, and this one here is from Plucky. They're brand new canvas bags. I have collected so many over the years from different events. So I'll be making sure I include a canvas project bag with your prize. I don't know. I don't know exactly how that's going to look. For now, for the next few weeks, honestly, I really just want to make along. Just have fun, make along with one another. We'll do some prizes as the weeks and months roll along, for sure. Maybe a monthly, maybe every other month. But I definitely don't have anything written in stone just yet. So if the mood hits me and maybe I think of a pattern or a theme, I will let you know. I do have a couple of ideas though for make-alongs. Let's see here. I thought I wrote them down. Yes. One idea I have is for a vest along. So basically we could all make a vest together. I have been for some reason wanting to make a vest, knit a vest or crochet a vest of some sort, and I've been seeing some amazing patterns that I've been putting in my queue and in my faves. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. I would also love to host a sweater make along at some point in 2022. A couple of you who are larger women such as myself have expressed interest in knitting your first sweater, and I think it would be amazing if I could host a sweater make along and be a support to you, especially if you've never knit a sweater before, because sweater knitting is just amazing. Color exploration. I was thinking about this for those of us who are afraid of color. You guys know I am not afraid of color. I'm not afraid of mixing different colors and unusual colors together. So a color exploration, maybe trying a color you've never worn before would be fun. And finally, something new, a new craft that you've never tried before, or a new spin on a craft that you've never tried before. Maybe you're a spinner, but you've never done a 3-ply. So yeah, so let me know what you think about those initial ideas that I have. And if you have any other suggestions, then I would be more than happy to hear them. And as a matter of fact, as I'm thinking about it, I will probably start a thread in the Ravelry group so that you can post your ideas there. Okay, so let's get into the making, shall we? I should let you know what sweater I'm wearing. I am wearing the Dog Walker sweater by the Plucky Knitter. I'm gonna stand up so you can see. I knit this probably about this may have been knit about 4 years ago, because I actually remember wearing this to a Vogue knitting live, and it wasn't the most recent Vogue knitting live just before COVID. It was maybe the year before that. So definitely one of my favorite makes. I really love the way this sweater fits. If you look at the pattern, which I will be linking to, you can see that the neckline has a broken rib, but the pattern calls for the neckline to come all the way up, like a mock turtleneck, or it may actually be a full turtleneck. I have, as I've gotten mature, I do not do turtlenecks. I need a place for air to get in and get out. So I just did a basic neckline with the broken rib, and that broken rib is repeated on the sleeves as well as on the bottom. And the yarn that I used, I believe this is Plucky Traveler Aran. It's a beautiful base of merino, silk, and yak or camel. Again, I'll link to my project page in the show notes so that you can see exactly what the base is, but it's just so warm and cozy without being like too hot. So that's what I'm wearing today. All right, let's get into finished objects. Guys, would you believe that since we last spoke, I have finished 1, 2, 3. I have 4 finished objects to share with you. And of those 4, 3 are sweaters, which makes me so happy. So let me share. So the first sweater I'm going to share with you is my knit collage kaleidoscope. Here she is in all her colorful glory. Oh man, I'm going to insert a picture of me wearing the sweater here. I don't know what else to say about this, except for this was one of the funnest, happiest projects I have ever worked on. The yarn is a variety of super bulky yarns. Kaleidoscope, knit collage, I should say, is known for her very interesting bases. She mixes in fabrics and metallics and just all kinds of beautiful things in her yarn. Some of the yarn is actually fabric. Like you can see this row here. I believe this is the wildflower base that's all fabric. And then this particular base here, which is a really thick and thin. These are all knit collage yarns with the exception of this bright blue. It fits really, really well. It's super cozy, as you would imagine. I definitely had some hesitancy about making a super bulky pattern to fit my large frame, but I must say I think it's very flattering. I will be wearing a long sleeve thin t-shirt with it, just to make sure I stay warm, and of course it will only be worn on super cold days. So thank you, Knit Collage, for a fun, super fun make along. Make sure you're following Knit Collage on Instagram and YouTube. I believe so. Today is Saturday, January the 22nd, and tomorrow, which is the 23rd, Knit Collage will be uploading a video on YouTube with everybody who uploaded pictures of their finished sweaters. I think some put a little dance to their pictures and videos. So definitely take a peek at that, because that would be a lot of fun to see. So again, that is the Kaleidoscope sweater by Knit Collage, and that was knit on a US 17 needle. My second sweater I finished is my Millie. So you've been seeing this for quite a few episodes. I've got a candle lit over there, so I'm making sure I'm nowhere near it. And it's finally done. So the Millie is a pattern by Nice and Knit, which I just realized is no longer available on Ravelry. The ladies of Nice and Knit, actually they did a post on Instagram last week that they're delving into something different besides dyeing yarn and designing patterns. So that pattern, unfortunately, this pattern is unfortunately no longer available on Ravelry. The yarn that I chose to knit this with is Chelsea Yarns Cobblestone, which is the nubby base that you see there, and that beautiful halo is coming from a silk mohair lace that I held with the cobblestone, and that was from Vahelia Fibers. And I absolutely love this. As you can see, it has drop sleeves. I knit this so that it stops like right at the hip, so it's not cropped as the pattern calls for. I definitely knit it a little longer. I knit my sleeves to be elbow length, and I just love it. It's also another super cozy sweater, and I just love the colors in this yarn. You can see the blues and the oranges and the browns. It's a beautiful base. And the colors are in the cobblestone yarn from Chelsea Yarns. And the color is 80s radio. I feel like I'm going all over the place. The color is 80s radio. Again, I will link to my project page with all of the details on this sweater. So that's sweater number 3. And I also finished my Missoni Accomplished sweater. So let me stand up so you can see this one. So Missoni Accomplished is a sweater by Espace Tricot, which is a yarn shop in Canada, which just recently took over new ownership. They also have a podcast with the new owners. Unfortunately, even though there are new owners, the patterns are still available under the Espace Tricot name. There's supposed to be another chevron at the bottom of the sleeve, but I opted not to put the chevron on the bottom of the sleeve. I just finished my sleeve off with the contrasting color, which is a twisted rib. That twisted rib is repeated on the neckline. And I just did a basic 1x1 rib on the bottom. This is more of a crop to length. When I put this on, it comes up maybe a 1/2 inch above my hip. So I will be wearing this with maybe a crisp white tunic and some leggings or some jeggings. I think it'd be super cute. This still needs to be blocked. I'm just gonna put a steam block on this just to relax those stitches out a bit, but I absolutely love this. I love the way it turned out, and I'm so happy to finally have it off of the needles. So even though I wasn't here with you guys, I was definitely with you in spirit in making and finishing my whips. So isn't that amazing? 3 sweaters in 1 episode. So I should be good and toasty. I have no reason to be chilly this winter. Okay, so my final finished object is a pair of socks. So I definitely have shown these often. I started these for the Socktober make-along that was hosted by Hey Brownberry and Earth Tones Girl, and I'm just getting these finished. These 2 need to be blocked, so I'm gonna give them a soak in my one of my tough woolen soap bars. I did my usual afterthought heel for these. I cast on 56 stitches, which is like my number for how I knit my socks, and just a basic closure there. And as you can see, these are shorty socks, and this beautiful color is from Plucky Knitter, and the color is Don't Go Over Bordeaux. And I think that's a pretty good representation of this color. So another pair of socks off of the needles, which makes me super, super happy. So in the midst of finishing all the things, I was also able to cast on for a couple of new projects, and I'll share those with you now. This new project is a cowl. I had a skein of yarn, this yarn right here that I hadn't put away yet, and I just kept looking at it, and I just thought it was so pretty and it needed to be knit up. So I went on Ravelry looking for yarn for a worsted or Aran weight, like 1 skein project, and this is the pattern I came up with. So this is called the Hillview Road Cowl. Like I said, this is a 1 skein project. This is by Holly Adams Samet, and it calls for 210 yards of a worsted or a heavy worsted or Aran weight yarn, a US 10 needle, and I really love this. Look at the texture. And here is mine. So I've really gotten into this pattern. There you can see that beautiful texture. And you can see where that hand dyed yarn is really showing off really, really well. So I'm really, really enjoying this project. This is has a 4-row repeat That's not difficult to do at all. So of course I will link to this pattern in the show notes. And it is a free pattern too, so that's always a plus. So the yarn that I'm using is from Less Traveled Yarn, and this is their light Aran base. It's 203 yards, and the color is garnet. So Less Traveled Yarn, they have beautiful, beautiful yarns. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying this project. All right. And this is hanging out in my Queen's Yarn Boutique project bags, one of my favorite project bags. I'm not sure if she has project bags in the shop now, but she does have beautiful yarn. It's a beautiful, beautiful yarn dyer. It's Rochelle from Queen's Yarn Boutique. The other new whip that I cast on was for a hat. So I am knitting the Vanilla Beanie DK hat, and I can't even remember how I found out about this pattern. Maybe it was on another podcast. So and I'm assuming that if this is the DK version, there's also a fingering weight version. But this pattern is from the Knitting Loft, and they are a knitting shop in Toronto, Canada. And this is a very basic pattern. Here's the progress I have on mine. Let me just show you the pattern really quickly. As you can see, there's no ribbing. You just start knitting in the round, which usually causes your knitting to curl under, but hopefully blocking will take care of that. And you just knit. This is also a free pattern, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm just enjoying it so much. I'm really enjoying the fabric that I'm making with this. So to get the DK gauge required for the hat, I am holding a skein of a silk mohair along with a plump fingering. As a matter of fact, this base is actually called Plump Fingering, and it is from 29 Bridges, one of my favorite yarn dyers. This color is Harbor, and again on their plump sock base. And this color is Patina, probably my favorite color from 29 Bridges. Patina is the color that I use for the photo for the Danielle hat, the one and only design that I have on Ravelry. One of my Stitcholutions for 2022 is to design another pattern, so stay on the lookout for that. So I'm holding these two together, and this is the fabric that I'm getting. I'm so in love with these colors and what's going on here. That's another reason why I love holding mohair with another color. You can hold mohair of the same color and get like a similar, I mean, it's great because you have that beautiful soft fabric with that beautiful halo from the mohair. But when you contrast the colors, you can come up with something amazingly beautiful, like this. I don't know whether you remember when Arthella and I were podcasting together, and we were both smitten with a beret pattern. I think Arthella may have knit about 4 of them, and I think I did about 3. I got a feeling this hat is going to be the same way. I'm already thinking of combinations that I can do with leftover mohair from other projects. And like I said, this has gone into another hat, and I think another project, and I will still have plenty left over. So I'm looking, actually, I've just put my mohair leftovers in the very first glass jar that you can see behind me. So I will have a lot of fun going into my leftovers and seeing what other combinations I can come up with. This hat is just so simple. It's something like if it's a chilly day, a bad hair day, I can just, you know, just put it on my head and just wear it around the house, or just something to put on as you go out. I keep looking at this because I love it so much. Really, really love it. So again, this is the Vanilla Beanie DK by the Knitting Loft. And this too is a free pattern on Ravelry. So yay for free patterns. And I have this hanging out in probably a bigger bag than I need. My Fringe Supply bag. This bag is no longer being sold by Fringe Supply, but I believe another maker bought the rights to the pattern. If you know about that, feel free to mention it in the Ravelry group, the thread that I'll make for this episode. But that is what I vaguely remember about the status of the Fringe Supply field bags. And that's it. That is it. Those are the things I have been actively. Oh no, I do have another whip. It's okay. Look at the size of this bag. How could I possibly forget about this whip? And the sad thing is that I have show notes right here, so maybe if I actually looked at them, I would be able to stay on track. So my next whip that I'm working on is hanging out in this beautiful project bag. It is huge, so that means the project must be huge, right? You would be correct. Let me take out the yarn first. I am knitting I'm crocheting the Just Feel Festive shawl by Kalisha Ryan. Kalisha Ryan is the host of the Quirky Monday podcast. And this is my progress on my Just Feel Festive shawl. As you can see, I did a gradient, starting with that first end, which is the beiges, and then I'm just going into blues and bluish greens. I'm almost done with this. This is going to be a gift for a dear friend. She already knows, and she watches the podcast also, so she won't be surprised. But Doreen, this is heading your way as soon as possible. So yeah, I just so much fun. I'm definitely not as adept at crocheting as I am with knitting, so this pattern was like right on time for me. And I have technical support from my good friend Stacy, who is an amazing crocheter. So that's always nice to have maker friends who can help you along with your projects, who are better at some crafts than you. So yeah, I just love this so much. And just like that hat I showed you, I am certain that there will be more of these shawls in my future. So beautiful pattern, Kalisha. And again, this was made just using some of leftover minis from previous projects. I thought I was going to end it with these, just bringing in some of the oranges, but I don't think I'm going to make it. I think I've got enough here. So maybe the next one I will start off with beiges and then into oranges, and we'll see. But a great leftover stash buster project. Okay, so I'm pretty certain that's it for whips. So let me just show you a few things that I have acquired over the past few weeks. I swear, I feel like I was, you know, when you don't feel well and you're kind of out of it, and then I was on some pretty strong pain medications too. So some things I've acquired, as I shopping in my sleep anyway, I've done quite a bit of shopping. in the past few weeks. So I'm not going to share with you everything this episode, but I'll share with you some of my favorite things that I have acquired. The first thing, actually shortly before I started filling bag, I spent some time with my good friend Stacy in Baltimore, and she took me to her local yarn shop, which is called, hold on, it is called, I'm so sorry for all the crinkling, Black Sheep Yarn Shop. It's not in Baltimore City, it's in Baltimore County, but beautiful yarn shop, well appointed, so many beautiful things. And the owner was also delightful, just so friendly and welcoming. So I picked up a non-yarn item from that yarn shop, and this is it. So this is a tea towel, and this is a double oven glove. So super, super cute with the roosters and the chickens. Love, love, love this. So now that I've shown it to you, because I definitely wanted to share this on the podcast, I can actually put it in my kitchen and put it to use. Okay. Another thing that has come in is my Taproot calendar for 2022. I had the 2021 calendar and I absolutely loved it. Look at the artwork on this calendar. And since I've been doing a lot of art journaling here lately, I was able to use the images from the 2021 calendar in some art journaling spreads, which was really fun. And I'm going to put a couple of pictures of my art journaling at the beginning and end. And I will also be posting a flip through of my art journaling journals very soon, so be on the lookout for that. But just absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful artwork from the Taproot magazine. I mean, look at that. That's just gorgeous. Stacy, I'm giving you lots of shout outs today. But Stacy, my good friend in Baltimore, was also able to get the Vogue Knitting magazine that features Michelle Obama. So that's exciting to finally have a copy of this. When I knew Michelle Obama was going to be on the cover, I actually subscribed to Vogue Knitting, but I never received my copy. So I had to look into that, but so happy to have that. And the Barnes & Noble she picked that up from actually had the bag, the Vogue bag also. So it's a really nice, sturdy tote. I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. Just a very simple pattern on the back that says New Beginnings. So, oh, and I'm just realizing this design was done by Salvador Dali. Beautiful. Okay, so what else do we have? I signed up for the 2022 Sock Squad from The Farmer's Daughter, and this is the first installment of that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I've said this so many times. I've always been amazed at the combinations that she comes up with. I would have never thought to put these two together, but I think this might be my next pair of socks to cast on. I've got one pair I want to finish up, and as soon as those are finished, I think these will be my next pair. So again, that's from The Farmer's Daughter. Next thing I want to share with you is the Interpretations book. This is the latest Interpretations collaboration between Joji Locatelli and Vera Valimaki. I want to make every single project in here. And I know that's not possible, but just some really beautiful things. Even this coat, this hooded coat is just amazing. That's the Same pattern on the cover. I love the way these projects were styled. And let me just, I'm looking for my absolute favorite. Look at this. Speaking of vest, look at the vest. Totally make that. But the pattern that really got me, look at this poppy sweater. So pretty. So pretty. And it looks like it's so simple too, that color work that might be in the running. There's socks in this book. I'm still looking for my absolute favorite. Hold on. I could really just go through every single pattern in this book because they're all just that amazing. But the one that is my absolute favorite is the Lady Bird wrap. Just gonna let that sit there for just a minute. Look at how gorgeous that is. And I believe this is mosaic knitting, which is basically slip stitches. So I love this. Love it so much. I've already gone through this book very carefully, so I just need to put in some tabs and put in some markings to see which patterns I want to make this year. So I picked this up from Wool and Company. They are a yarn shop in the Midwest. I want to say Chicago area, but I love ordering from them when I just need like maybe an extra skein of something, or just like a one skein of something, because they always have free shipping. So again, that's Wool and Co, and I will include them in the show notes. And while I was there, I just had a quick peek at what was on sale, and I was able to pick up this really pretty skein of sock yarn. This is from West Yorkshire Spinners. This is their signature 4-ply. And it is a self-striping yarn. And it contains 35% BFL, 25% nylon. And I guess the rest is another type of wool, maybe some other type of British wool, because it says it's only 35% BFL, but it's really soft, and it feels very almost silken like. So you can definitely feel that BFL in there. Finally, the other thing I want to share with you today is one more thing I picked up from the Black Sheep Yarn Shop. I'm going to let this sit here for just a minute. So pretty. So this is called Exquisite. This is Exquisite 4-ply, also from West Yorkshire Spinners. And this is a 80% Falkland wool and a 20% mulberry silk. Each hank is 437 yards. So when I was in Black Sheep, I was just shopping around, and I just happened to look on the table in the back, and they had this yarn, but in this beautiful bluish green, this deep teal color. And I read over and I asked the owner, where is the rest of this yarn? Because in the blue green, it was just absolutely stunning. And it comes on a variety of colors. There's a beautiful gray. I feel like so many of the colors work well together. They would be stunning separate as well. So I just picked up 2 of these, but I'm already thinking about maybe getting more for larger projects. I don't have a project in mind. I just knew that 2 would be plenty to make at least a really good size shawl. So these are just going to hang out in my stash until I can figure out a project to do with them. I thought like something with beads, a shawl with beads would be really, really nice. If you have any suggestions, then I would be really happy to hear them. You can leave it here on the channel, or you can leave it in the thread for this episode in the Ravelry group. And just take one quick peek in my bag to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. There are other goodies in there, but I'll save that for the next podcast. And I'm going to take a quick look at my show notes to make sure I didn't forget anything. Yes, I did forget something. One last thing. One last acquisition is actually something I've had for quite some time, and I'm just getting around to opening it and wrapping my brain around what I want to do. But I knew when this was posted on Instagram, I had to have it, so I immediately ordered it. And this is it. So this is a kit. I picked this up from Cultured Expressions, which is an adorable quilt shop in Rahway, New Jersey. I'm so happy I had a chance to actually visit this shop in person before COVID, and I definitely want to go back again. I would love to spend a weekend there and be able to take a class from Lisa. Lisa Shepherd is the owner of Cultured Expressions. There she is right there. Super kind, super sweet, super talented lady. If you are into batiks and African prints and textiles, then you will love Cultured Expressions. I know at one point she was doing like virtual shopping tours, so definitely reach out to her, see if she's still doing that. So this kit that I purchased is to make this pillow. Bring it up a little closer so you can see it. So basically, this is a pillow that incorporates some hand stitching, and you can see those long stitches there. That might even be called a long stitch, I'm not sure. But here's the base. This beautiful, here we go. So this is going to be the base, the background of the pillow. And those other colors that you see will be cut out from these beautiful pieces of Ankara print that were included in the kit. So I'm so looking forward to getting this started. I want to sit down this weekend and really focus on the instructions for making this. So it included the yarn, the fabric to make the project, as well as this beautiful set of eleganza threads. And this is the pearl cotton, I believe. Let me just double check. It doesn't say, but yes, it is the pearl cotton. It does say. It says it on every single spool. It is the pearl cotton. Look at these. These are my colors. So when like I said, when I saw this, I'm like, it's mine. I have to have it. And it's so cool because it was made specifically for Cultured Expressions. So I'm going to have a ton of this left over to use in other embroidery projects, and I cannot wait. So, so beautiful. So I've got a lot to keep me busy in the next few weeks. So what are you guys working on? Leave a comment in the description box below. Head over to the Ravelry group and let's catch up. Let me know what things you're working on, what ideas you have for make-alongs that we can do together in 2022. How are you doing? Just let me know how you're doing with everything. So there's been a lot of talk about mental health among other podcasters. I'm hearing it on the news every time I turn on the news, and just an acknowledgement of how traumatic this whole situation with COVID has been on all of us. For some, a lot more than others, understandably so, but we just have to acknowledge that we're living in a really difficult time. You know, everything's different, everything's changed. So much of what we've become used to, we no longer have. And it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, and it's a lot to process, and it's a lot to navigate through, because even though COVID has stopped the way we do things, it still hasn't stopped what we have to do. We still have to work and take care of our families and our own physical health and our own mental health. And it can be difficult to navigate through all of it. So just let me know how you're doing, what has been helping you, and maybe by you sharing, that can help someone else. I do feel like my knitting, my making mojo is coming back strong. It definitely waned a little, especially with this latest wave of COVID. I wasn't expecting this at all. I thought we were heading one direction, and then we're heading what seems like in another direction, especially with the vaccination. So I've kind of like accepted that this, would have been expected, and just trying to refocus and re-navigate and move forward. But I think for me, and that's kind of how I've been here lately. I've just really been into the mode of acceptance, accepting that things aren't the way I would like for them to be as it relates to my physical health. I've definitely shared that with you all before. A lot of physical health challenges. So I'm still working on accepting that I have limitations and I can't do things the way I used to do, that I can do everything that I love doing, everything I've become accustomed to doing, but I have to reframe and refocus and do things differently. And that's really, really hard for me to accept, but I'm getting much better at it. So again, what's your story? What's your story? How have you been navigating through everything that's been going on? I would love to hear it. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm so happy to be back, and I hope that I will see you in a couple of weeks. Be on the lookout for other videos. I will be posting some art journaling videos on YouTube. I may post new items coming to the shop. So be on the lookout for those. And finally, I can't believe it, but it will be a year that I've been in business, February 1. So I opened the shop February 2021, and here we are coming up on the anniversary of the fiber tree. So I will have lots of fun things to celebrate with. I'm definitely behind on those plans because like I said, I've been under the weather. But the anniversary plans will happen, just maybe a little bit delayed. So just wanted to put that out there. Again, thank you so much for being here with me today. Please stay safe. Please stay well physically and mentally. And I will see you again for another episode very, very soon. Bye-bye.